I've gotten this video recommended to me a lot of times, guys, and we're finally gonna watch it. It's called The World of Warcraft Iceberg Explained. Oh, I like the music already. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. There's a lot. Okay. What is this?
Most people skip intros in these Iceberg videos, but seeing how everybody watching this video is a bald WoW boomer, I'll give a quick rundown. Somebody made this image of an iceberg covered in random WoW trivia. The deeper you go, the more obscure it gets.
Yeah.
I will explain every fact on this image.
Okay.
Tier at a time. But first, let's talk about human error. If I'm explaining something,
it's quiet.
I 100% know.
Sorry, it's quiet. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. What about now?
What I'm talking about, you will see a legendary icon. But if I'm just taking a shot in the dark, you will see a poor icon. The other rankings should be self-explanatory. Now, enough introduction, let's get started.
Okay.
With
the iceberg. Oh, the music is so good in this video already. It's the tip of the iceberg. Okay. So it's like different...
Dancing Troll Village. In classic WoW, the world is basically a bunch of intricate valleys in between wall-like mountains. But looking at something from an unintended angle really shows the game's flaws.
True.
To counter this, flight paths followed very specific routes as to not break the immersion of this TV set-like world. For fun, WoW devs added little sightseeing locales along flight paths, such as the Iron Forge Airport. In the mountains between Darkshore and Winterspring, there is a village of dancing trolls. Just another sight to see while flying.
There's also the area above, what is it called, Stone Island Mountains? There's like a little, kind of like a village, an abandoned village as well.
Lucid Nightmare. Back in Legion, Blizzard started putting little weird clues or hints.
Oh, dude, I remember doing this on stream, man. This was... If you've done the Lucid Nightmare quest chain, I remember you had to do that puzzle thing with the labyrinth. That it was so confusing, but honestly, I loved it. I thought that quest chain was sick. It was a super cool thing. I still gotta do the maze. I remember I made the maze in paint, and I was like trying to figure out where I was and where I wasn't.
Throughout the world that would lead on a galaxy brain level scavenger hunt for cosmetic rewards. The Hive Mind, the Waste of Times, and others are basically the exact same thing.
Yep.
Oh, except the Waste of Time used to have a little wiggly dong that got removed.
Oh.
Either way, you'd go to secret locations and do hidden things and receive a secret reward.
Yep.
Dalaran Sewer Turtles. WoW has millions of references. The Dalaran Sewers are no exception. Over here are a bunch of turtles looking up to a level 80 rat. Obviously a rat.
And they're bringing this back in more within... Okay, so this is going over all like the secret little things of WoW. I like this.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Goldshire Children.
Ooh, the pentagram.
In Elwyn, there's a group of kids that hangs around Goldshire. Every day, they walk to the top of a specific house and stand in a pentagram formation.
It's kind of weird.
Scary sound effects and stuff play in the background. It's really weird, and it's always been there.
Yep.
Void Talon. There are portals in set locations that can spawn throughout Spires of Iraq. If you get in one of these portals, you're able to get a mount. Thing is, only one person per portal, and they only spawn once every 2 days.
Oh.
Bumbles. Bumbles is a bee companion tied to a semi-hidden questline in Stormsong Valley. I'm not certain about this though, because I don't collect and I don't play Alliance.
That is... Hey, my man! Horde all the way. Westfall Chicken. Ah, this is the one with the clock. I do wonder how many of these I'm gonna know.
Westfall Chicken. In OG WoW, there are chickens hanging out at the farms of Westfall. If you spam the /cluck emote, eventually the chicken will give you a quest called Cluck. If you get some special feed and turn in the quest, you get a chicken companion.
It's cool.
Mulgore Critter War.
This is cool.
In the plains of Mulgore, below Thunderbluff, there are regular old critters, just like every other zone.
Is it doing
Except
Easter?
Here, they have weapons and armor and murder each other. Uldaman Lost Vikings.
Yeah,
in the
reference
dungeon,
to
there
the
are
first
3
game.
named dwarves that are friendly to the Alliance and hostile to the Horde. These are a reference to the Sega Genesis game The Lost Vikings, which was actually developed by Blizzard.
So I think it's their
Emerald
first game.
Dream. The Emerald Dream is a place teased to be added to the game since Classic, but due to multiple reasons, it was never fully added, even to this day.
I don't know why they
This
didn't do
topic
it.
is big enough for its own video, which there are millions of on
Yeah.
YouTube already.
I remember seeing so many videos about the Emerald Dream, specifically a video about a private server where you could go to the Emerald Dream portal, like a little bit west of Oakamore, on like a big mountain in Ashenvale. And there was apparently a secret portal you could enter, man.
Coiter. Michael Coiter was an
Coiter.
artist who worked on WoW and sadly passed away before its 2004 release at the tender age of 19.
Damn.
In the Barrens, there is a stone honoring an orc called MK. If you come back
Damn.
in spirit form, there is a spirit healer called Coiter.
Yeah.
The Wanderers Festival. This
Okay.
is a micro-holiday that lasts one day a year in Krasserang Wilds. I have no idea why it's on this image.
Oh.
Lincoln. Lincoln isn't a referenced NPC.
Good question.
Just like the
Boomerang.
thousands of other referenced NPCs. He has a quest line starting in Ungor Crater. It's a big Zelda-y quest line for
It's
funsies.
kinda cool.
You know, go around, do temple stuff, puzzles and stuff. Get a boomerang and a master's sword. Fun stuff. Mr.
Man, I really one day I want to play through Ocarina of Time. I never got to play through it because I was too scared once I reached the graveyard in Hyrule Field, and I stopped playing because it was scary.
Pinchy. Mr. Pinchy is an incredibly rare NPC that you can fish up in Outland that offers to give you things for his freedom. This can be trash or a companion. Gray Riding Camel. This is a mount
Yeah.
that is obtained by killing Dormus the Camel Hoarder.
How's that relevant? Because he was talking about Zelda.
Spawned very
I'm up for-
rarely in the Oldham Zone by clicking a small interactable item randomly located around the map.
Yeah.
Whispering Forest. The Whispering Forest is
Oh,
located
yeah, in
in the upper
Tirisfal.
hills of Tirisfal and was made easily accessible in Cataclysm when flying was unlocked. Surprisingly, the area contained higher level mobs and a ring of mushrooms where fairy dragons would show up on timed
Yeah.
intervals and channel some power into the mushroom circle. This place was a complete mystery until the Legion expansion,
Yep.
when it was given ties to an artifact weapon. But
think a lot of
perhaps
people
there
lost
is
their mind
still
with it.
something here undiscovered, as it also has skeletons and abandoned structures.
Dude, a WoW player's just constant tinfoil hat. This abandoned structure with a skeleton has to mean something. There must be some intricate meaning with this that it has a greater meaning. There must be something. You know, there's no reason Blizzard just put this randomly here next to this lake.
Karazhan Crypts.
Oh,
The
that's a
Karazhan
classic.
Crypts are a usually inaccessible area that you're able to glitch
That's true,
into
Beltram.
that have
Still
always
fun to watch.
existed since Classic. They have a lot of creepy shit, way different than the rest of the game. It even has named locations and unique
This will be a raid
mobs.
in Saw
But
chat.
this
Mark
area
me.
was never used in game until the Lucid Nightmare questline in Legion. Apparently was part of an abandoned wing in the Karazhan raid that never
Yep.
made it, but we'll never quite know for 100%.
We will, because we're getting it in Sod.
Nagrand Orphanage. In the
Oh
old
yeah, this is the she eats children. This troll is an evil troll that eats children.
Outland Nagrand, there is an orphanage run by a nice old troll.
Yep.
Simple enough, right? Well, no. For one, this orphanage looks kind of unsafe, and almost like an elaborate torture chamber. Second
Fucked
off,
up.
there's weird piles of meat and stuff everywhere. And third off, trolls aren't even native to Outland. Why
Yeah.
would one set up an orphanage here?
It's a shapeshifter that eats children.
Out in the Warlords of Draenor expansion, you can kill a rare spawn in a cave with the same name as the troll.
Yep.
Except she's an orc and a cannibal, which all but confirms this place is a trap run by a shape-shifting cannibal.
Yep.
Captain Placeholder.
Oh, this is a classic one too.
Captain Placeholder was a tool in the original WoW beta to teleport players from Menethil to
Yeah.
Aberdeen.
They put him in more
because
within.
Back then, the boats were buggy and didn't work. People loved
I'm not
him
gonna do that,
so
Helson.
much, they made songs and jokes about him,
He's
and asked
cool.
for him to be brought back into the game. He was, in the Cata beta, dancing in a Gobble Rocket way, before the Flood.
Is the audio okay?
Besides
chat?
that,
No?
the captain has vanished. Spirit Healer Subliminal Messages.
What?
Basically, people have listened way too closely to the noises that the spirit healers make.
What?
And they can almost make out them saying things like, "Play WoW," or "It's not that much money." Here, have a listen.
No! No, that's a stretch. Okay, that's a stretch, dude. If you put a text of like subtitles next to something, you kind of try to hear that. I heard it. No, that's because you see the subtitles. You see the subtitles, and that's what your brain hears. It's the same thing with those like things where there's like yellow car, blue vehicle, whatever the heck, right? You know, you guys know those videos. Give us your money. Okay, wait, I cannot hear that. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna be quiet. Okay, we'll just listen to all of them. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
Thanks for going live again.
Oh, thanks for coming, Hyman. Appreciate the 6 months. Thank you so much.
That much money. Here, have a listen. Silithus Coast Taran Village. For a while, there was a village on the coast of southern Silithus behind Encourage that you needed to swim to all the way
Come on, guys! Get into it!
from Tanaris. It had Tauran architecture, however, no one was here except for some skeletons and a cave.
Okay.
In the cave was a sleeping red dragon named Andrastras. However, this has all been removed from the game.
Really?
Except for the cave. What was this? What was any of this? What was any of this? Is this like something to do with the Dragon Isle?
Dude, this video is cool.
This isn't even on the script. I'm just fucking rambling. What was this? Pandaran Express.
What's this?
This was an earlier April Fool's joke in vanilla WoW patch notes. Basically, it said you could call a panda by typing /panda, and this would summon a mini Pandaran, which you could use to order Chinese food in real life. However, this was just a joke.
Oh, pretty cool.
Basin hatch. There's a locked hatch door in Sholazar Basin with a window on it that reads a sequence of numbers, which is just another clear reference to the TV show Lost.
Oh.
And
I've never seen Lost. I heard people say it's a really good show. It's like that show on the island, right?
wow, that is the surface level of this iceberg. Most of these things I actually already knew.
Yeah, I think I knew like 80% of those things. There was a few things I didn't know, but I knew most of that. I don't know about you guys, but that was like pretty, yeah.
They weren't that creepy or mysterious. But, I mean, they're really
get
just
deeper.
a bunch of references. Easter eggs and lucid nightmare over and over and over.
We're gonna get deeper now.
But maybe things will get a little darker when we enter.
Level 2. The shallow waters of the iceberg. Okay. I see Martin Fury. Dude, this is a good video.
Undercity Throne Room Warcraft 3 sound effects.
We know this.
If you go to the old throne room in Undercity and turn off all your game sounds except for ambient noises and crank your volume up to max, you can hear the sounds of the day Arthas killed his father.
Oh, sorry.
Also, there's a blood splatter on the floor from King Taranis Menethil's crown.
That was me, chat. That was not
Martin
you.
Fury is a GM item that used to have an on-use effect of instantly killing all nearby things.
Didn't they like ban the guy that... I think they accidentally gave it to someone. Can you turn up the video volume?
Martin Fury is a GM item that used to have an on-use effect of instantly killing all nearby things. Players, enemies, anything. A GM restored the items of a hacked account to a player named Karate Chop.
Yeah.
When doing so, he accidentally gave him this item.
Yep.
Karate Chop proceeded to use the item, kill every single raid boss at the time that was out, scoring world firsts, and him and every single person in his guild got a temporary ban.
That's kind of fucked up, man. Okay, they should have just removed the item. They should maybe remove the items he got, but don't ban him.
After a while, he got a permanent ban.
See, that's too far, man. Moshi Moshi, hi Disporania Motor, hello.
Nowadays, Martin Fury has had its effect changed to kill the caster on use.
Oh.
Chinese censorship. Due to China's strange cultural fear of skeletons, In the Chinese client of the game,
It's kind of cool.
basically
with the bread.
all instances of skeletons and exposed bones in the game have been either completely removed or replaced with bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that fucked up room full of blood and flesh and skeletons? Well, in China, you fight the gingerbread man.
Bread.
That's not even a joke. Samwise Didier icon.
What's this?
This is
Ah.
just a picture of one of the devs' face. It's
Yep.
used as a placeholder thumbnail for incomplete abilities.
Yep.
Gilligam's Isle.
What's this?
This is an isle off the coast of Stranglethorn in the lore of WoW.
Really?
It was in early WoW builds, as well as on the map in the WoW opening cinematic,
No way. I actually didn't know that.
and also has a lot of campaigns built around it in the WoW RPG.
That's crazy.
But it didn't make it to the final release of the game. Reigns of the Bengal Tiger.
I know this one.
There are tons of fully modeled,
Yeah.
fully animated, fully colored mounts in the game's code that have never been added to the game.
Yeah. Turtle WoW has them. Bro, something like that with that island down in STV. Okay, and hear me out. I don't want to go on a tangent. I don't want to go on a rant here watching the video. But imagine in Classic Plus if they actually went down a very more laid-back, chill version of Classic Plus where it wasn't all about, like, you know, big runes and shit, but more so about adding new zones. They could open up a zone down there, get those islands into the game, maybe add a dungeon, maybe even a raid. It could be a leveling zone, it could be an endgame zone. That could be so dope, man. Give us those zones we've heard about, but we've never seen, right, in Classic Plus. That would actually be insane. That would be so cool.
So they totally could.
Come
They almost
on,
pop up
guys.
Every expansion. One of these is the Bengal Tiger.
Yeah.
People thought really hard that this one would get added to the game because the other cool tiger got added to the game.
Come on.
And apparently there was a secret cave you could wall jump to full of tiger skins that people thought a vendor might spawn in.
Yep.
But besides this, nothing else about this mount exists.
Yep.
Corrupted Blood
No, this one
Incident.
too.
I'm not sure why this one wasn't on the first tier,
Oh,
but this is where a hunter pet was dismissed while it had the corrupted blood debuff from Hakar. The hunter resummoned his pet in Stormwind.
They actually did, like, I think this was the one where they did in real life, like, disease studies on, right? Because it was such for spreading and shit.
Needless to say, WoW looked like 2020 in 2005.
Yeah.
It spread
They did studies
all
on
over
it.
Azeroth, and thousands died. Researchers apparently studied WoW just in
Yeah,
case anything
okay.
similar happened in real life, and apparently that research went absolutely nowhere.
Oh.
Alpha Ironforge.
Classic.
And Undercity. Back in the early builds of the
Classic.
game, both Ironforge and Undercity were much bigger cities with multiple
Okay, and hear me out. You know, I'm not even gonna go there.
levels,
No, I'm not
balconies,
even gonna go there.
catwalks, etc. But the devs thought this would be complicated,
No.
so they cut all this out of the game.
It would be cool though, okay?
Underwater Goblin Village. Basically,
South of Daenerys.
exactly what it says. If you swim for long enough in a certain direction, far into the fatigue waters off the coast of Daenerys, while
I need a life. Holy crap.
healing the out of yourself, you will eventually stumble across some random goblin building assets at the bottom of the ocean. Why? I have no clue. WKM Room.
Oh, is this the room in Orgrimmar? Or under Orgrimmar?
If you clip through this wall in modern Orgrimmar, log out of the game, log back in, you can get into the wall, travel under the geography of the city, move around a bit,
is.
and fly up into this spire.
Yep.
At the top, you find a square room
That's
with
the
a lit
one.
candle and the initials WKM.
Yep.
I have no idea what this is a reference to, but it
This is in Cataclysm.
old school ride.
Oh.
Back in the first couple months of vanilla
Like
WoW, the epic
Exilation?
mounts that the factions sold weren't the cool ones we're accustomed to today.
Yeah.
They were just alternate colored versions of rare quality mounts.
True.
They replaced these pretty quickly with the updated armored ones we have now, and even added a way to trade the old ones for the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
These old ones are now rare as balls, and even have a feat of strength tied to, having one.
That's
It's
sick.
called Old School Ride.
Timeless Isle Blue Fire.
Don't know this one.
Timeless Isle has a bunch of secrets and Easter eggs all around it. One of them is an underwater cave where a bunch of skeletons are sitting around a blue fireplace.
What?
This didn't do anything until the Warlords of Draenor expansion, where you can find a similar hidden fire which teleports you to this one.
Oh.
Why does a fire in Draenor in the past teleport you to Pandaria in the present?
Weird.
No clue, dude.
Okay.
Timalane's phylactery. Okay, here we go.
What's
There
this
is a
one?
random quest item that drops from slimes in classic WoW called Timalane's phylactery. It did literally nothing ever. People
seen this.
speculated that it was from a removed quest to get the Ashbringer weapon that was in the game files. So people went on giant quests,
Aw.
making a whole shit ton of clues together to try and unravel the whereabouts of the weapon. Turns out they were kinda right, and this did have something to do with the Ashbringer. But, in the end, the Ashbringer was replaced with Thunder Fury. So
It's good they didn't add Ashbringer as an actual weapon, though. I feel like it's almost like too big of a weapon to be like that, right?
they removed everything but this phylactery from the game.
Yeah,
It has
I mean, corrupted Ashbringer, but I know they did it in Legion, but like, I mean, Legion was all about that, right? So Legion is a different story, right? I feel I'm speaking
Keep
of.
up the good work, Guzu.
I'm talking about vanilla, right? They're two things for the 14 months. I appreciate that. And like Legion is different, right? But you know what I mean.
relevance again in Legion, where you can unlock an alternate skin for the Ashbringer by doing all the random shit people used to do to try and find the OG Ashbringer.
Yeah.
Forsaken were undead, not humanoid.
Okay.
In the WoW beta, Forsaken player characters and NPCs
Oh,
were marked
yeah.
with the undead type instead of humanoid, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
But, seeing how undead are immune to fears and other CC effects, this made them stupid overpowered in PvP to everything
Imagine
except
that.
for paladins. So, because of this, they were nerfed into becoming humanoids.
Yeah.
Corrupted Ashbringer event.
Yeah. Scar Monster.
Despite the Ashbringer not being in Classic WoW, there was the corrupted version of the Ashbringer, which dropped off of Mograine in Naxxramas. This weapon, besides being OP as made you hated by the art.
It was really OP as balls, okay? Like, there was a lot better weapons in Nax, okay? I mean, it's a Nax weapon, so it's good. But dude, Mighta Menethil? Pooh!
Argent Dawn if you wore it. And it made you friendly.
Yeah, it also made you hated with the Argent Dawn when you equipped it. So if you flew over to a Light's Hope Chapel, the guards would attack you.
With the Scarlet
Linus.
Crusade. Going to Scarlet Monastery Cathedral with the weapon and approaching Mogran's son would play this RP event.
Yeah. Is there Ogre music in here? It's kind of sick. I assume a lot of y'all have seen this, right? This is cool though. I am Ashbringer. Nah, it's actually sick. I've seen S-Fan do it. Oh yeah, S-Fan got Ashbringer, yeah, I remember.
It would also cleanse Fairbanks, and he would tell
Wait, what's this mob? Wait, I've never seen this mob before. This is is this in Cathedral? Holy shit.
you to cleanse the Ashbringer, you would need to seek out Mogran's other son in the Outlands.
I'm just joking, guys. It was a little meme. It was a little meme.
This never amounted to anything. Talisman of Binding Shard.
Oh, actually, the only necklace in the game that actually shows up on your character. It shows up as a little lightning bolt. It's really cool.
There were a bunch of legendaries in the game files of Classic, probably to test out different stuff.
Really sick.
Idea. Either way, they left this legendary neck on the loot table of one of the bosses of Molten Core
Garn.
until one lucky guy won it.
I think-
The devs realized they didn't remove it, so they took it off the loot tables. But they let this
Dude.
one guy keep his, and he still has it to this day.
How sick is that, dude? So if you wield it, you have the little lightning bolt there.
Also, this is the only necklace in the entire game, yeah, not even the Heart of Azeroth has this, to have a physical,
Sick.
visible effect.
I made you.
Recall Nichi.
What's this?
In Shatrath, there's a vendor for things like a gigantic sack and a bottomless hole. You see where we're going with this one. Sold by a vendor named Harris Pilton. An obvious reference to Paris Hilton. Standing right next to her, if you have a way of seeing ghosts, that is,
Oh,
is a
really?
ghost named Ricole Nietzsche. An obvious reference to Nicole Richie.
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Dwarven Farm. Just another random use of village assets. This
They used this in Sod.
time on the coast of Arathi, not really serving any purpose.
Yeah.
And wow, I still knew a lot of these off the top of my head.
Honestly, true. There was a few more I didn't know here, but I would say still a majority I knew.
Yet things did get a little more obscure, but
Okay.
let's see about how much more shrouded
We're gonna go deeper, chat. We're gonna go deeper.
Too.
There's a laser scope. Where are we now? The deep water of the iceberg. Okay.
Leopard gnomes and Silvermoon.
What?
I don't know what to say here.
Oh.
They are leopard gnomes, they are slaves, and they are in Silvermoon.
Shit.
Old Outlands.
Really cool. Inside of Deadmines, you can go out of bounds. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna explain. It's
Back
cool.
in Warcraft 3, there were some slight differences in the design of Outland from what it became in WoW.
Yeah.
And Blizzard obviously had a lot of different ideas of how to make the zone. If you clip through this wall in the Deadmines and glide
Yeah.
perfectly, you can come across a bunch of unused Outlands assets. Kinda. Thus, this place has been dubbed Old Outlands. Torch mechanic.
Okay.
Apparently, back in pre-alpha for World of Warcraft, Duskwood was
This is sick. Okay, I've said, dude. Hold on. I'm gonna let him explain. This is sick.
pitch black, and you needed specially crafted torches to be able to navigate the zone at all. The only remnant of this being in the game is that torch models still emit a small light source.
Dude, it's actually sick though, man. Like, imagine Duskwood just being really, really dark, and then suddenly you can hear Stitches just come for you, man. And you gotta have a torch to walk around.
But
Did you really first time chat Yap? What the fuck, man?
WAD class
Okay.
accessories. Back when WAD was in development, they let leak a ton of stuff that was being produced, yet for one reason or another, maybe
Okay.
because of the movie, maybe because of garrisons, all this stuff was not added to the game. This involves class accessories like books on the belt
Oh,
for
shit.
pallies, quivers for hunters, etc., to world bosses, continents, zones, a raid tier. A little bit of stuff like Hunter Quivers made it into the game in Legion, but
Okay.
not much else.
Didn't know this.
1999 map. This was the original map of Azeroth, created by Chris Metzen.
Oh.
Apparently, there was a blank wall in a Blizzard office, and Metzen went into the office with some paint and made a rough estimate of this map on the wall. And then he said, "This is Azeroth." I'm not
Wait,
sure.
look how small Kalimdor is. What the fuck? What?
If he drew the entire map you're seeing, or just the Azeroth continent.
Wait, that's Ulduar! Holy shit! Ulduar is like 3 times bigger than Kalimdor.
But that's apparently how it happened.
That's
Dragon
insane.
Isle. On the map in early versions of WoW was a place called Dragon Isle. This was supposed to be an endgame zone the devs wanted players to go to kill dragons. It'd be lit. But Chris
Dragonflight.
Metzen came along and was like, actually, not all the dragon flights are bad. So the devs were just kind of like, screw it, and they yeeted the plan out the window.
Until now.
Abyssal Maw. In the beginning of Kata, they had a whole elemental thing going on, and the Abyssal Maw was supposed to be the water raid, kind of like
Ooh.
Firelands or Throne of the Four Winds.
Why didn't
But
they do
due
that?
to lack of time and commitment, and let's be honest, this is when Activision started stepping in. But that's besides the point.
Oh.
Either way, it was scrapped, which kind of left Neptulon's story open-ended till Legion,
If.
and then he just popped up in Legion. Like what?
Oh.
Why? Double Agent. Double Agent is a Pandaren player
this
character.
guy.
In the Panda starting zone, you start out factionless, and
Yeah.
at the end of the starting zone, you leave the One Ring Isle and pick a faction.
What a chat.
Double Agent decided, nah, and he didn't pick a faction. He just grinds to the max level every expansion by just picking
So
Peace Bloom
insane.
and mining copper,
Yep.
and that's it.
You can even see a NPC wearing BOEs running around the monk order hall called
cool.
the Venerable Shaman, which is a clear reference to our fine young man.
That's really cool.
Mohawk Grenade. Background
Oh,
rap.
I remember
there
this!
were a line of WoW commercials where a celebrity would say, "I'm a mage," and then there'd be a
Why would he do that? That was literally...
commercial about them being a mage. There was a commercial for Mr. T, and he said he was a night elf Mohawk, and he hacked the game to make Mohawk a class.
God.
This became such a meme that for a while, hand grenades were added to the game, where you could throw it at someone,
so funny.
and they'd get a night elf head with a mohawk. And they even added mohawk as a haircut on the barbershop for night elves.
These ads were so good.
GM Island Raid. GM Island is an island, surprise, off the coast of Teldrassil, where there's nothing but a burning house and a bunch of dancing NPCs.
Yep.
This is apparently where GMs spawn when they make a new character.
Spawn, yeah.
Players found a way to clip over here, and also a way to clip underground it. Apparently there's a white chair in a white room under this island. Either way, I don't know what this raid is about, but planes running.
Oh, yeah.
Before WoW came out,
yeah.
Blizzard was really into the lore, and they figured
This would've been
Tauren
so
were
cool.
too big to ride any mounts, so they decided to make it so instead of having mounts, they'd just run.
Yep.
Tauren players would have to run for 10 seconds, and then they start running at mount speed. This was obviously broken as
Dude, this would be so funny, man. You see a Tauren coming running, man. I mean, now Worgen has it with the running wild or whatever it's called, but that would be so fun to see.
So they removed it and gave them Kodos, and the ability to ride most mounts. The Tauren Plains running trainer Samantha Swifthoof still walks up and down the road to Stranglethorn to this day.
Wait, that's what she's I didn't know that part. Wait, so was supposed to be the trainer for that? I didn't know that. That's crazy. They could add that in retail that would hurt? Yeah.
Serenite
Didn't know
bomb
that.
abuse. The guild who got the world first kill
Yeah.
on Lich King Tedman had the rogues in the group using Serenite
Learned something,
bombs.
yeah.
Now this was part of, just the normal rogues rotation to do extra DPS, but seeing how the Serenite bombs also did siege damage, because this is the same expansion where Rinnergrasp and stuff came out.
Yep.
The platform that breaks during the Lich King boss fight was technically
So much
kind
trauma.
of a siege device, kind of like a gate or something. So it would bug out when you did siege damage near them, and it would regrow. This regrowing of platform space made it so that when a Valkyr picked somebody up and dropped them off the ledge,
Didn't fall down.
they just get dropped onto the platform. This made the fight astronomically easier, and they scored the world first kill.
Easy.
Little did they know there were invisible game masters watching them, and they state to this day they were definitely cheating, and they got their world first taken away. Kerrigan Shredders.
What's
In
this?
every empty shredder asset that dots Cataclysm or older zones, if you look inside of the cockpit, there is a screen
Yeah,
that has a
I
low
knew this.
resolution image of Kerrigan from StarCraft.
Kinda
Also, newer model shredders have higher resolution image of the Queen of Blades.
Cool, kinda cool.
Toyota commercial.
What?
I've gone ahead and equipped my epic axe.
Remember this?
Explosive arrows.
Yeah.
Equip myself with a little, 4 wheels of fury!
No way. There's no trucks in World of Warcraft.
Let's do this!
Holy shit. Whoa.
Did you see me lay down the law? I am the lawgiver!
Where can I get one of those?
Dude, what is it with the old ads, man? They just used to be so unhinged. I remember this one.
Back in Wrath, sometimes your character would load into the game with the wrong face asset. This probably started in Wrath because of something to do with the barbershop, but I don't know. Otherworld glitch.
Huh?
I have no idea about this one. According to a guy on Reddit, it is a fake glitch from private servers.
Okay.
But either way, I could not find any footage.
Oh.
It would apparently bug out your visuals when using a portal, but I'm pretty sure this one is fake.
Tom
Krabby. Has anything ever gone wrong with your WoW client and you see this crab? Well, this
No.
is Krabby. He's
What?
supposed to be like a parody of, you know, Clippy, the paperclip. He was supposed to be an in-game helper, like, do you need help killing
Really?
Jaden or something like that, but he was never implemented. Yet, he is kind of being used that way on the WoW client whenever
What?
it bugs out, so it was kind of true.
I've never seen this.
Unseen. These are invisible level 50 neutral ghosts that are located in Raven Hill and the ruins of Lordaeron. You can only see them with either detect invisibility or while using invisibility as a mage. They were way more powerful than anything else in the entire zones that they're located in.
Yeah,
and could
they're high level.
completely destroy you if you accidentally AoE'd near them.
Yeah.
But they were always in the areas where no other mobs were, so the chances of that happening were incredibly slim. And this was also during Classic, where classes didn't really have a lot of AoE.
We've seen like hardcore mages like run around with Arcane Explosion in the ruins of Lordaeron and then just kill themselves to it.
Test Winner's Tabard. Every anniversary for WoW, they release an item you can use for the entire month that increases your rep and experience gains.
Oh, yeah.
However, this item, while using it, also equips you with the appearance of a purple tabard with the World of Warcraft logo on it. This tabard is actually in-game and was given to the players on each realm with the highest amount of honorable kills before the rank 14 honor system was implemented, making
Really?
it probably the rarest item in the game.
Damn!
Stag stacking. You know how you can ride a druid in stag form?
Yeah.
Well, when stag form was implemented, you could ride a stag in stag form. So, you just have stacks of stags. Dwarf mages. As you know, dwarves can be mages in retail WoW, but this wasn't the case until Cataclysm, where every race was given more classes to play. However, in the classic WoW manual, it says dwarves could be mages, even though they couldn't. Game fuel. Back when gaming was hitting the mainstream big time, Mountain Dew released a new flavor for Halo 3. It was called Mountain Dew Game Fuel. It was some orange flavor, and a year or so later, it introduced two more flavors of Game Fuel called
Never saw
Alliance
these.
Blue and Horde Red. They tasted pretty good. There were ads for them,
I
you know,
remember
on
this!
TV, where an orc and a night elf were fighting in a grocery store.
Oh, this I do.
My friend at the time thought that that was the entire game. Swirly
Oh.
ball. When rogues used to have to press the detect trap spell, an animation would play where you'd throw up your arms and a swirly bar would spin around your head. They could spam the shit out of this spell while just standing around in
yeah.
major cities. So you just see rogues running around, whipping out their arms and a swirly ball spinning around their
I
heads.
remember this.
And they loved it. Blizzard made Detect Trap a passive ability though, so swirly balls went bye-bye. And of course, rogues complained a lot on the forums.
Yep.
Dance Studio. So, on the box for Wrath of the Lich King,
Dude, I remember being so excited about this. I could customize my own
it
dance.
said a new feature for learning new dances was in the
Yeah.
game. This was never, ever added, which pisses players off because they wanted more dance emotes.
Yeah.
They cry out for the Dance Studio to this day, yet it still has never been brought.
It's messed
And,
up.
you know, it's even been used as an April Fool's joke or a meme several times by the developers just to rub it in. The Dance Studio
It's
is
fucked up.
and was and will never be added to the game.
Oh.
Fluorescent Green Meccano Strider. A player had bought a new mount in Classic WoW. He spurged out or something and deleted it because he couldn't figure out how to right-click it. He then contacted a GM to have his mount replaced because, you know, 100 gold was a lot back then. And the GM just said, "Aight," and gave it to him. But he must have typed the wrong item code because instead of giving him his unpainted Meccano Strider, it gave him a fluorescent green Meccano Strider, which only exists in the game files.
Good Jim.
He was the only and is the only owner of this mount ever. And the devs
for
just
Saul.
kind of let him keep it until he tried to sell his account in Worlds of Draenor and got it permabanned. Rogue Bucklers.
Dude,
Back in pre-release
sick.
WoW, there were more weapons
and hear me out, chat, okay? Like, hear me out. No, never mind.
and armor types than there were in release. For example, cloaks used to have armor types. That's why some cloaks are called chain cloaks. Also, there were shields and bucklers. Bucklers were just shields with a lower focus on block and armor, and a higher focus on being a stat stick.
Yep.
Rogues and hunters couldn't use shields, but they could use bucklers for some reason. The devs thought these systems were dumb and removed them.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, I actually learned quite a lot of things writing the script for this section of the Iceberg.
There was actually quite a lot I didn't know there. We're getting really deep now as well.
I mean, I still looked at some of the things and instantly knew what to say, but it was still an interesting section.
Yeah, great.
However, when we go deeper, we start getting into the realm of things.
Level 3, chat.
The realm of...
Where are we now? The bottom of the iceberg. Okay, we're getting really deep now. Alright, let's see how much of this we know. Dude, this video is good. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Blingtron Revolt. Over the years, Blingtrons keep getting added to the game every expansion. And they become progressively weirder and more torn up
It's like
every
an
time.
AI, man.
They seem more and more like at war.
Okay.
They talk about battles, and they even have gray items with weird descriptions alluding to some kind of hidden war.
What the fuck?
Vanilla Quel'Thalas.
Okay.
There is an inaccessible area in classic WoW at the northern point of the Eastern Kingdoms called Quel'Thalas.
Yeah.
It's right behind Stratholme, with a small amount of elvish architecture that's clearly unfinished, and it's definitely unintended to be seen. Was this supposed to make it to vanilla?
Hear me out. Imagine if it was. And in Classic Plus, when it comes out, they actually make you go there for maybe a new dungeon or a raid or a leveling zone or an endgame. That could be pretty sick.
No idea.
That
but
could be
probably
pretty
not.
sick, guys.
Elling Trias predicts Cataclysm. During Vanilla, there was a questline that started on Van Cleef's corpse and led all the way until Theramore. Yeah, it went from level 17 to level 40.
Yeah.
But it also abruptly ended, where you learned about the fate of Varian Rin.
Yep.
Elling Trias was in charge of a cheese shop and was a secret agent in contact with the SI-7, who helped you get in contact with other people across the world. Matthias Shaw sends you to him, and at some point during this quest chain, he jokes about Deathwing coming back and destroying Stormwind. Unused WAD hairstyles.
Oh, what?
What do you want from me, man? They are unused hairstyles, and they are in WAD.
Oh,
you should ask more about the cut fungal whale raid boss and the Zangar Sea Zone
Dude,
instead.
that'd be sick.
On Instant Stratholme. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
In Sapphiron's room in Naxxramas, you can jump into a corner, use a growth potion, sit down, and then close your game client. Wait 20 seconds for your character model to despawn, log back in, and you will be clipping through this corner. Jump up until you're on this ledge, and then jump out. You are now in some snowy winter-spring-esque zone. Run until you see a cliff that drops into a copy of Eastern Plaguelands, and run all the way to Stratholme. Go all the way to the portcullis at the end of the dungeon, and it's no longer there. You can walk behind it to find a hidden section of Stratholme with an untextured necropolis floating in the sky. People think this might have been the OG way to enter Nax, kind of like how BWL is in UBRS, but we'll never know.
Yep.
Tuskar Armory Swap.
I knew this.
During Wrath on April Fool's, everyone's Armory character model was changed to a Tuskar. I mean, that's it. Ragnaros'
Tuskars are pretty sick, dude, okay? They're actually kind of dank.
10th anniversary window. During Vanilla WoW, there was a joke where if you looked through this fire thing on the wall behind Golemag, you could see Ragnaros. You couldn't, and if you went there to check, the fire on the wall would kill you. In the 10th anniversary re-release of Molten Core, this actually worked. You could look through it, and you could see Ragnaros.
What?
Who would kill you. Spirit of Cusco. There was a
Hey, that's not what it said.
slime in Wrath that was counted as a spirit beast, and hunters could tame it. So yeah, slime pet for hunters.
Oh.
Garwal. There was a wolf in Wrath that turned into a worgen mid-fight.
Really?
And if you tamed it the second it transformed, you could have a worgen pet as a
Oh
hunter.
shit, I didn't know this.
Test camera over shoulder. This is basically just a code, kind of for console support, that eventually became the action cam. Kindy Sparkshine's dad. Kindy Sparkshine was Jaina's apprentice, who died in the bombing of Theramore and disintegrated in Jaina's arms.
Okay.
Her dad lights the lanterns in Legion Dalaran every night, one at a time. Mop Beta K physics. I don't know about this one. I don't know anything about cloaks in Miss Pandaria. But they did add these weird wiggly belt physics in Miss Pandaria, which would glitch out sometimes. Who knows?
Maybe it's talking about how the capes on the back of the Pandaren were more animated than anything else in the entire game, because
Chat,
this was the first rendition of
don't do
newer
it, chat.
character models. Thwiziak Sprocket Grind. This is just a very well-hidden engineer trainer in Mulgore. I don't know why it's this low on the list.
What?
I didn't know about it, but
That's not in vanilla, right? There's no way.
it's not that amazing. Moarg Race Hoax.
That is in vanilla. Really? Insane. I didn't know that.
Just some lie about there being playable ogres. There's nothing new,
Okay.
nothing old. PTR World Port. On the PTRs, if Blizzard doesn't deactivate the World Port command, which they do a lot, you're able to basically just teleport anywhere using this command. It's kind of fun, but you know, you don't always get to do it. Dark Iron Leather Heroic. Apparently, there is, or was, a way to loot this item in Nomergon, and it was a chest piece that had no model, so you were able to transmog your chest to be as a leatherware. Haemon's Hubris. This is a crashed ship hidden off the coast of the Isle of Thunder. In Battle for Azeroth, there is another crashed ship with the Haemon's name that's been turned into a bar off the coast of Vol'dun.
Okay.
Inside of this bar, there is a hidden hearthstone that if you right-click, it'll teleport you to the crashed ship off the coast of the Thunder Isle.
What?
ACII Art Guild Names. ACII Art is that stuff you see online in Twitch chats, where it's an image just made out of symbols and
Stop
slashes
for
and
helvete,
stuff.
man.
And for a while, there was a bug where guild names could have multiple rows in them.
Bro, don't whip that out on the screen.
So people had ACII Art for guild names. The Big Book of Beards. A gray item that drops until Barad. That's it. It's a reference to a similar items in
Dude, he could have chosen so many other ASCIIs, man. Not that one.
codes of different Blizzard games. Nothing real special about it, but you know, it exists. It's kind of like an obscure version of the Staff of Jordan. Agrant Sharpshot. Another reference. There's millions of these. I don't know why this one in particular is this low on the iceberg. It's just kind of weird.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe the guy who made the original image was running out of ideas when he got this low. Either way, this is a reference character. He's got the same name as a guy in Jurassic Park. And he is on the Isle of Giants, which is full of dinosaurs. Heroic Strike canceling in Classic.
I'll play Catechus.
If you turn on the Heroic Strike, it guarantees your offhand weapon will hit before it lands. So just toggle and untoggle Heroic Strike to guarantee hitting with your offhand.
What?
It's a trash mechanic in my opinion.
What?
The Cleaner. In Classic WoW, hunters have a solo quest line to use their abilities to kill 3 different elite demons to get Rockdalar and Lockdalar. You have to kill them in special ways, and by yourself. If anyone tries to help, the demon will say, "Oh, this shit ain't fair," and run away. And then the Cleaner will show up, and he'll beat the shit out of both of you, because he's invincible. Revan Tusk Trolls. The Horde town in the Hinterlands is controlled by the Revan Tusk Trolls, who had their own reputation until patch 1.5, where they just kind of removed it because it was redundant. Aranicus Questline Dead End.
This kind of sucks.
There is a trinket that drops off of the last boss in Sunken Temple in Classic. This trinket gives you a quest to try and free the spirit of Aranicus, and after you turn it into another dragon, it just kind of abruptly ends. You don't save Aranicus, and people think it's incomplete until you realize that you free Aranicus as a part of the Scepter of the Shifting Sands questline. So it was concluded, but it was in a way that barely anybody got to participate in. D&D Shaker. Okay, so in the Cataclysm pre-patch, random zones would just start shaking and there'd be earthquakes and everybody would be like, what the f*** is going on? And the way they got these zones to shake was that an invisible NPC would spawn and then cast an earthquake spell. You know, Blizzard has, you know, little hidden secretive ways of doing this. Kind of like how in Nixia, the way she aims her breath is by targeting invisible sheep.
Oh, I didn't know this actually.
Or are they rabbit? And these D&D shakers were just invisible NPCs that would, you know, shake the world. But sometimes they'd bug out, and you could see them. And that's pretty much it. Sandbox Tiger exploits. The Sandbox Tiger and any placeable, rideable object can be used to clip through walls. People use things like these to reach, like, GM Island and other things. I've covered GM Island earlier on this list, so yeah. So yeah, I actually didn't know a lot of those.
Yeah,
but
there was a few I
lot
didn't
of
know
them
there.
were kind of boring. Like why was there just a random fact about some random reference character on the Isle of Giants?
Okay, is there one
It
more
wasn't
layer?
too spooky or dark. Hopefully, that changes as we sink into.
Oh, another layer. Okay. Where are we now? The Abyss. Holy, what is that item on the right side of the screen? I don't know. Okay, we're deep now.
Utgard Keep instanced Summoning Stone. There is a copy of the outside of the dungeon inside of this dungeon. So if you're able to slip past the portal that teleports you out of the dungeon, then there's a copy of the outside world.
What?
And you can even use the Summoning Stone to summon people inside the dungeon.
Oh!
Mr. Chili, equipable and weapon slot. Apparently you can equip the snowman item to your character sheet. Armory 3D posing removal. Yeah, I don't know what this is about. Like in the armory you used to be able to 3D pose your character, and now you can't.
Really?
Kobold Lair Dungeon. There is an incredibly early screenshot of a WoW map with certain things marked out. One of them is a Kobold Dungeon in Elwyn. Pretty sure this just turned into Fargo Deep Mine or something, but who...
Imagine in Classic Plus if they actually continued on that and made it into an actual dungeon or even a raid. That would honestly be pretty freaking sick. Like, I'm gonna just keep it real here, guys. That actually would be pretty freaking dope.
knows? Maybe there was an earlier rendition
Sinrock.
of a
Yo,
dungeon
Nico.
in the Elwyn Forest. Spirit Cauldron Collision Bug. Spirit Cauldrons, for a while, had collision. So when you placed them on the ground, you could do things like jump on them,
Yeah.
you know, or block a door with them. They removed this interaction. Unknown Reward. It's a data mined item in the WoW files called Unknown Reward. It's unknown. So there you go.
Yeah.
Roman Specials. In the WoW Diary, the author explains how he and another developer named Roman Kennedy would add slight variations to cave layout designs and animation used in different enemies. This way, things were slightly different, so everything didn't feel the exact same, but it was still barely different, so they didn't have to work on it too much.
Yeah.
They do this at home for free, and they'd call these Roman Specials. Secret Worgen customization. I have no idea on this one. Maybe this has something to do that back in Cataclysm, when Worgen came out, there were haircuts that you could only get in the barbershop and not the character creation screen. Therefore, when you went to go get your haircut, there were secret Worgen customization options. But I'm just kind of guessing. Leroy Jenkins Elsagate. Elsagate refers to YouTube channels changing their entire lineup of videos.
That was a weird picture. I'm sorry. That was a weird picture.
Just to be skits of guys dressed up as Spider-Man and Elsa doing random shit to appeal to the autoplay children YouTube culture. This is kind of gone now because of the inability to advertise on children-friendly content. But when it was at its...
Listen, it's nothing TOS, but like my brain just took a second to process what I was even watching.
peak, the channel that uploaded the original Leroy Jenkins video to YouTube transformed into an Elsagate channel.
Wait, okay, so what? What? That confused me so much. Elsagate? That, okay.
Of Wu Ping. Wu Ping was
You
the
never
weapon...
saw those? Never. No, never. Oh, Leroy's channel got stolen, I think, and made basically into a children's scam content channel. They basically made weird semi-adult videos with kid characters and advertised it as an actual kid video. What? YouTube Kids, there were thousands of channels with people dressed as Spider-Man and Elsa from Frozen doing weird shit. It's basically tells stories with things that children would find dramatic. Death, pregnancy, romance. What the
Master and Storm.
Is it because of is it because that YouTube ads like paid more in like the children section, so like they would just farm kid views? Is that why they would just farm like the views? They just watch more videos? Dude, if you go to the YouTube, like YouTube Kids, whatever, dude, the videos there have billions of views. Like, actually, they have so many views. It is insane. Please unpause the video. Okay, do you realize how little I actually have paused? Dude, I have actually been a very good boy today.
That was removed in the Cataclysm along with weapon skills. A concerned fan asked the GM what happened to Wu Ping, and this is what the GM had to say. Greetings, Haramir. This is Rishker. I hear you're concerned about the fate of Master Wu Ping. Are you free to hear the tale of the Master? Yes. Excellent. When Deathwing arrived at Stormwind, it was none other than Master Wu Ping who came to the rescue.
Can't read it.
Armed with his trusty arsenal, Wu Ping rushed to the face of the beast. A great battle commenced between dragon and man. Buildings were torched and crushed, and civilians ran for cover the best they could while Wu Ping and Deathwing exchanged blows. Wu Ping, being the great weapon master that he is, took polearm in hand and thrust it into Deathwing for leverage. He, and then reached for his trusty sword, and with a great leap launched himself off the large polearm and struck his sword into Deathwing's ribs. Deathwing, clearly now infuriated, started to fly while Wu Ping was still grasping his sword to flee from Stormwind. Wu Ping clung on for dear life as the two vacated the city. His location is now unknown. Wow. That's incredible. So you see, if not for the valiant efforts of Master Wu Ping, Stormwind would be in far greater ruin. Smiley face. I'm honored to have trained under him. As you should be, Haromir. It's up to you to carry on his legacy. Anything else I can do for you all today? Yes. When does the story get released in the form of a cinematic? Soon. I'll keep a watch for it then. Until then, I hope you enjoy the new content, smiley face. Thank you very much for your time, and take care, Haramir. Colossal...
Wait, he just explained that entire thing instead of saying, oh, the NPC is no longer in the game. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. That's why GMs were so good.
Depths, mystery signal. If you go into the Colossal Depths Sun Zone in Draenor, you can hear a slight frequency of noises. People speculate this to be some hidden code, possibly, but I have no clue.
What? What the fuck?
Kylar's Fingers. Okay. I have no clue what this one is. Apparently Kylar is a smaller WoW content creator, so maybe it's an in-joke, and the guy who made this original Iceberg image was a fan.
Oh.
But I have no idea. Google didn't show me anything. I even went to Kylar's stream and asked him, but he is turned into a stream just broadcasting the metrics for the you-know-what. So I don't know what to say here.
The you-know-what?
I searched for it on Google, and nothing came up. I searched for it on YouTube, and this came up.
Fingers in his ass.
Oh, what the?
Fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he lies. Fingers in his ass. Fingers in his ass. Fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he likes big fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he likes big fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he likes put fingers in his ass. Fingers in his ass. He likes in his ass. He likes in his ass. Fingers in his ass. Yes, pinky, index finger, and the thumb in his ass. To his butthole goes numb. West in his ass. North in his ass. East in his ass. Most definitely in his ass. Yes, yes, Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass. He likes big fingers in his. Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass.
It's kind of good.
Fingers in his ass. He likes big fingers in his. Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass. Fingers, 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 fingers in his ass. Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass. Kanye likes fingers in his. Kanye West, he likes fingers in his ass. Fingers, 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 fingers in his ass. Fingers in his ass. Fingers in his ass. Kanye likes fingers in his hole. Hey.
That just ends.
And crank your...
It just ends. What the hell? Dude, that video was really, really good. I actually really enjoyed watching that.